We're going to look at the tangent values on the unit circle and then do a couple quick examples here at the end. Try to keep this relatively brief. So there's really three different ways that you can go with tangent on the unit circle with the 30, 60, 90, and 45, 45, 90 triangle. So let's start with the relatively easier one. We're going to do a 45, 45, 90 triangle. And these two sides are root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2, and then the hypotenuse is 1. So this here is 45 degrees, and the coordinates are root 2 over 2, comma, root 2 over 2. Okay, so if I asked what's the tangent of 45 degrees, it would be opposite over adjacent. So here's our 45 degree angle. Opposite is root 2 over 2. Adjacent is root 2 over 2. So this is going to be root 2 over 2 divided by root 2 over 2, which is 1. So tangent of 45 is 1. The reason it's 1 is because it's the same thing on top and bottom of the fraction, so they cancel out. Okay, so that's the first one. And then what you might notice is that everywhere there is a 45 degree angle, like here, here, and here, all of these tangent values are 1 or negative 1. So like this one here at 135, the tangent of 135 would be negative 1 because this side is negative and this side is positive. You're heading left and up. But down here at 225, that is 1, positive 1, because we have a negative side and a negative side because you're going left and down. And then at 315, that is negative 1 as well because we have a positive side and a negative side. When you divide negative by positive, you get negative. Okay, so that one is relatively straightforward. The 45 degrees are going to be 1 or negative 1. Okay, let's slide to, we're going to do the 30, 60, 90s, but we'll do them, kind of do them, treat them like separate examples. So here's a 30, 60, 90. This is going to be a 30 degree reference angle. And this side is root 3 over 2. This side is 1/2. Hypotenuse is 1. So if we do the tangent of 30, that's going to be the opposite, which is 1/2, divided by the adjacent, which is root 3 over 2. Okay, so this is going to be 1/2 times 2 over root 3. All we do is when we divide fractions, we flip the bottom, make it the reciprocal, and then multiply by the reciprocal. And then we just multiply across. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times root 3 is 2 root 3. The 2's reduce to 1's, and so that would be 1 over root 3. And then we get rid of the square root on the bottom by multiplying by root 3 on top and bottom, and we get root 3 over 3. So a little bit more work than the 45s. We have to do some dividing fractions and then flipping, multiplying, reducing, all that stuff. Okay, so the tangent of 30 is root 3 over 3. And this is going to be true everywhere else on the unit circle where the triangle looks like this. And so what I mean by that is that would happen at 150. It would happen at 210. And it would happen at 330. So these are the 30, 60, 90 triangles where the 30 degree angle is the reference angle, or you can think of it as kind of the one where it's like it's laying down. It's the shorter one. We'll look at the taller version in just a moment. So just like with the 45s, the tangent values are going to either be positive or negative depending on which quadrant they're in. So here, tangent of 150 is going to be negative root 3 over 3. And it's negative because we have a negative here and a positive going up. So negative to the left, positive going up. Down at 210, it's going to be negative divided by negative, so that's going to end up being positive root 3 over 3. And then over here, we're going to have positive for the x, negative for the y, and so that's going to be negative root 3 over 3 for the tangent value. All right, 2 down. 1 to go. Let's look at the 60-degree angle. So we'll switch up colors here. We'll go green. Okay. So I'm going to draw that 30, 60, 90 triangle. I'm going to kind of exaggerate that a little bit. So this is, let's say, 60 degrees. The two sides are the same, 1/2 root 3 over 2. It's a terrible 3, let's fix that. There we go. And then the hypotenuse is 1. So the tangent of 60 is root 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. And that's going to be root 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. And we get 2 root 3 over 2. 2's cancel out, and we get root 3. Okay. So same thing here. I'm going to kind of plow through this quickly since we already talked about this. But here's another triangle that looks identical to it. Another one here. Notice they're all kind of stemming out from the origin there. So all of these tangent values are going to be root 3. Here at 120, it's going to be negative root 3 because we've got negative and positive. At 240, the tangent value is going to be positive root 3 because we've got negative and negative. And then at 300, it's going to be positive, negative. So our tangent value is going to be negative root 3. The one thing that hopefully you've noticed on all of these is that the tangent of any angle is always y over x. And that's true always. So when we're on the unit circle, the tangent is y over x. Y is always the opposite, x is always the adjacent. So if we go through a couple of these, it says when is the tangent of an angle, we called it A, square root of 3. Well, we just looked at that. That's at 60 and at 240. It'd be negative root 3 if it was at 120 and 300. So here A is going to be 60 or 240. Okay, this one says, what if tangent of an angle B is negative 1? Well, we looked at that up here. This is the red one. That would be at 315 and 135. We didn't talk about 0 or undefined yet, but I just said that the tangent is y over x. And so I want to find when y divided by x is 0, which that implies that y would have to be 0. The top would have to be 0. So where on the unit circle is y equal to 0? Well, that would be right here at the red dot, and then right here at this red dot, because we're not moving up and down at all. The y value is 0 there. So for this, C would be 0 degrees or 180. You'd have two answers there. Now, same thing goes for undefined. Tangent is y over x, and that would mean that x would have to equal 0 if it's undefined. So we are looking at these two yellow dots, because that's when x is 0. We're not moving side to side at all, and that would be at 90 and 270. And then the last one, when is the tangent equal to root 3 over 3, positive root 3 over 3, and that we did up here. That was at 210 and at 30. So 210 and 30. All right, hopefully that helps with tangents on the unit circle.